Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. But it was the break.
Velkommen til denne episoden. Første gang kom vi til tilbake til en bil. Jeg har fått lov til ikke noe mobilspill, ikke noe, så men vi skal spille litt solo og grinde litt oppover i level. Vi skal jeg har også planer å spille med dere etterpå. Det skal være hva skal jeg si ingenting av batteri her. 4 skal vibe litt. Kristian, nesten ikke med deg ennå. Jeg må bare varme opp i solo. For jeg har ikke vært spille på noe sånn. Etterpå skal vi siste keybindsene mine. Bare for dere som får lyst til det. Arctic Asian, ja.
Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't.
Jeg vet ikke om det har skjedd noe med neste. Det eneste jeg vet at det Amazing Web Week, som betyr at du kan finne Spider-Man mythics i alle slags kister og alt mulig. Det mye mer common. Du kan til og med finne en sånn ground loot, så du tenker å tro at du må lande en Spider-Man-plass. Jeg vet ikke hvor vi skal lande. Følelsen på og ikke lande et så veldig svett sted. Det minst en som lander i skitten. Så vi faktisk live, ja der. Kom an, spill med chatten når vi live. Jeg har også en ny update på IT, så nå kan du se da noen live. Når du browser på YouTube så står det liksom en random video av meg, og så står det rundt navnet mitt, så står det live under. Det litt kult update. TikTok har også hatt et par nye updates. Det et par ting å fortelle, så dere som ser på nå, dere kan finne Discorden min du kan finne Discorden min og Redditen min. Søker du på Exotic DG, Exotic DG på Reddit, så kommer jeg opp, og sånne ting. Så Pluss at nå når det kommer opp om et par dager, så er det den internasjonale kvinnedagen, så de har gjort himmelen litt sånn wow, epic. Det ser sykt kult ut. Graphics, jeg vet ikke om dere kan høre PC-en min, men den bråker av og til. Downsers er tilbake, det glemte jeg helt. Downsers er også tilbake, så betyr det at vi kan ha masse gøy. Forrige gang vi har hatt Downsers i spillet gud, lenge siden. Jeg vet ikke hvor mange du kan holde om gangen denne chapteren, men tydeligvis ganske mange. Så dere som lurer på hvorfor jeg alltid bruker dette skinnet, det er fordi jeg har mainet skinnet mitt. Egentlig bare på starten av sesongen, før jeg har liksom fått hele battle passet, så bruker jeg andre ting. Ku. Jeg har ikke med. I don't care, there's my knee. Herregud! Nei! Jeg går ikke å injisere meg i en fight uten match. Det er bare rutine. Det har vært svett i tillegg. Jeg logget nettopp på. Kan dere gi meg i hvert fall 5 botter i radioen min? Dette ikke sier nei. Ingen av dere ser om masse. Er det tidligere nå? Her. tror faktisk dere er døve. Altså, sånn ganger. Nei, så dumme pakken. Nei, det er tatt mikken min på. Ja, mikken min på. Har du mitt kamerat? Kamerat?
Quad-core plasma engine. What is this, 1982?
Nei, jeg vil at jeg skal ta det. Hvor er den andre da? Det er ikke noe annet her. Er det en på en videoen? Det er irriterende da. Skal du ta det av? Det kommer som 4 folk. Det er mye av det tempen min. Klipp der. Noen klipper der. Klipp. Jeg vet det. Jeg vet hvor jævlig at du har lyst på den, men det er folk overalt der. cirka er så stor, men liksom halve Gud. Nei. Jeg blir litt forbannet på sånne folk.
Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live.
We've run things successfully for thousands of years.
Till the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. It's always where the darkness ends. So sing the song. 'Cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall till the bottom, so sing along. Where the story ends. Long fall till the bottom. This isn't where the story ends.
Publiseringsfinaler klokken 18:45. Og 14 dager til neste sesong. Deilig. Har jeg fått sånn 8 abonnenter. Det er veldig bra.
Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind in the
Nå skal jeg skifte keybindsene mine. Men jeg kan ikke spille Battle Royale. Jeg må bare uansett 4. Jeg har fortsatt 1, 3. Ja. Jeg har ikke vært på en god stund. Legger jeg sånn. Nå vet. Hvorfor der? Hvorfor akkurat der? Det er ikke å lande, men det er mer bare til å være. What? Hva skjedde der? Jeg vet ikke at alle uten på det. dårlig. Empty. Peppe! PQ! Mange som lander. Ser du hva jeg mener? Du kan nå få Spiderman-nyttiger ut av kister. Andreas, bak deg! Andreas, det kommer folk her også! Du må følge med, det er folk her overalt. Først er litt kreativt, sånn at jeg kan øve på noen mine nye binds. Jeg skal skifte det om et par sekunder. Det spammer jo chatten, jeg må skifte binds da. Yes. Sånn.
About the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's when or impending doom take you down just like a sonic boom? Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along.
Dere har spørsmål at jeg er dritdårlig akkurat nå, for jeg spiller på helt ny bane. Dans hvis du kan høre meg. Dans hvis du kan høre meg. Nei, akkurat det jeg sier, han kan ikke høre meg. Keybinds, dette her blir nytt. Du kan ikke høre meg, eller hva? Jeg vet ikke. Jeg vet ikke om man kan høre meg. Jeg vet ikke. Det er ikke min ødelagt. Jeg kan ikke si noe noe min virkelig. Men dere hører en del. Ja, dere kan høre meg, så hvorfor kan ikke Andreas høre meg? Jeg vet ikke. Stå stille. Ikke må ingenting. Du vil ikke ta originale runder eller vanlige. Åh, Gud, søren heller kurumpa. Hvis bare jeg holder prosent på ting her. Lade, ok? Vi begynner. Vanlig. Vi skal ha... Snart. Så trenger vi en... automatic sniper. Og så trenger vi en våpen. Sånn. Den må være blå, fordi det hadde vært alt for fint. En blå pump. Hvor er pumpen? Her. Blå pump. Sånn. Dere glemmer. Stemmene.
Hør meg, jeg vil dele. Nei, dere kan ikke høre meg. Drittunger.
Nei.
Kan noen høre meg?
Jeg kan høre deg.
Alt som man går på hvert sitt team. Andreas klarer ikke å skjønne at vi skal 1v1. Kristian, jeg skal hitte alle knappene mine. Jeg skal bare øve meg på de nye knappene. Vær så snill. Jeg blir så trett av at det er bråk av det lyden.
Jeg kan ikke gjøre det. Jeg vet ikke hva det er.
Du vet ikke hvordan vi skifter team. Det er akkurat som på PC. Samme sted. Det er dritt av folk som er absolutt bra. Hva var det? Gå vekk! Døv. Kom on, Har du weapon? Ja, biff i opp. Nesten så kikker han det, da.
Her, Andreas.
Jeg skal bruke alt for lite. Dere, kom, 1v1. Unntatt at Andreas skal ikke høre meg. Kan du være med livet ditt?
Er det bedre nå, Cliff? Nå kan
Du ikke.
Er det bedre nå, Cliff?
Ja. Ok. Gå vekk, Andrea. Gå vekk.
Vær så god.
Ok, 3, 2, 1. Men det etterpå skal jeg skifte knappene mine, og da kommer jeg til å være dårlig, så da må vi ikke være så veldig gode, greit?
Ja.
For jeg skal øve meg på noen nye keybinds. Helsike, det prøver du varmen.
Å nei. Nei, jeg skulle ha noe Cliff. Shush!
Aimbot alert.
Oi.
Hallo, Andreas. Kan du ikke høre meg? På TV-en din? Hvorfor gjør du ikke det? Sa han nettopp. Kom hit. Livet kommer. Ikke lov å smile.
Ok, jeg kan kaste.
Men det er lov å smile opp til så det er lov å hvile fullt, men da blir det Ja, men etterpå skal jeg skifte bindsa mine, og da må du ikke være god, Andreas, greit? Så vær litt Ok, Max, jeg vil si deg. Noen som har mest tomme da. Ok, 3, 2, 1. Å, jeg løper skyter. Nei, du kan ikke skyte meg. Det er ikke lov. Jeg har nesten faktisk 100 ganger. Jeg logget jo litt på etter sånn 2 uker. Jeg har dritt denne det. Ikke for en liten forbedring. Det er ikke lov med gullessenger og sånne ting. Jokser du? Jeg vet. Jeg er ikke dum. Jeg ser faktisk ikke selv om jeg hadde sett. Dere skal sette pointene mine snart. Hvis jeg gjør det på tiden mitt skole. Ok, nå skifter jeg pointene mine. Please, vær til nå. Det er helt ny opplevelse for meg å bruke disse pointene. Wow! Kom da!
Ja, men jeg må bare ha våpen.
Men jeg tar sport. Noen nye barn. Hvem er det som ser på YouTube? Ikke se på YouTube. Kan det hende at jeg ikke ha det? Nå må vi begynne. Det er ikke materiale. Hvis ikke vil jeg er du?
Hvor er du?
Ja, jeg starter. Hvor ligger jeg? Sa at du må fylle. Christian, hvor er du?
Jeg var i videoen.
Jeg kan ikke høre det. Kan du chille litt, Andreas? Jeg vet jo ikke hvordan jeg skyter det.
Nei, jeg er ikke stabil.
Nei, jeg blir voldsomt. Hvorfor flyr jeg? Oh my god, det er så hold deg. Jeg er så dårlig. Nei. Så rart å ha forskjellige keybinds. Hvordan går jeg tilbake til? Hvorfor er telefonen fram? Hvordan mister jeg liv? Hva søren? Å, herregud. Christian, det er på tur å komme.
Ja, bare vent litt.
Ikke noe bare vent litt. Du må komme.
Siden kan vi ringe.
Så irriterer at du ikke går inn på denne greia. Hvor er du?
Ja, men jeg driver med noe litt. Jeg kommer snart.
Jeg kommer snart.
Maten skal vi finne deg. Jeg kan høre meg, men det er ikke noe som jeg kan. Cliff?
Ja.
Cliff?
Hva er det?
Kan, når vi ringer deg, så kan vi i hvert fall høre hverandre bedre.
Greit.
Jeg ringer deg nå.
Sikkert at du ringer riktig. Jeg hører.
Ja, han ringer deg straks. Bare vent litt. Vennen min blir med.
Bare chill!
Jeg bare sniper deg.
Vent, jeg er dritdårlig. Du er dårlig. Spiller jo med helt nye binds. Jeg må reloade. Det er jo ikke noe chill. Jeg prøver å si til deg at jeg driver på nye keybinds her. Du, kan du ikke ta meg akkurat nå? Jeg skal bli med på innstillingen. Misk.
Vet ikke at han synger. Jeg bare glemte det. Hver gang han spiller, han synger hver dag. Unntatt når han er på ferie.
Hvor i alle dager er dette her?
Jeg finner ikke det jeg skal ha nå. Der da. Ikke sånn.
Gud, så kjedelig. Hvor lenge skal du ta og bla hele veien ned? Kreativ, ja.
Visste du at det gikk an å gå og spørre meg hvis vi ikke siste?
Ja.
Og sorry. Ingen hørte meg.
Hva skjedde nå? Jeg så at noe forsvant her. Innstillinger.
Jeg hørte hvorfor Chris bare bruker det dasken. Ja. Nei.
Vent litt.
Ok.
Ok, nå kan vi begynne igjen.
Kan vi bare drepe?
Det er så dårlig. Åh,
Jeg
satan.
sier svarte.
Hvis du går inn på på streamen, så kan du se at det står recording oppe i hjørnet. Bare gå inn på streamen og se. Vent litt, jeg skal reloade noe.
Ja, men ikke det, for jeg skal gå inn på streamen din.
Går du på streamen, og så ser du over kartet, så kan du se at det står recording. Da vet du at jeg streamer.
Hvis jeg bare finner... Jeg kan gjøre det på videoen. Jeg kan gjøre det på min telefon. Kanskje om 4 sekunder.
Nei, reload! Hvorfor kan jeg... Der.
Jeg setter ikke opp tid, så vi finner ikke. Daily gamer. Daily. Bør ikke du lage en 50-spesial?
Jeg og Lukas skal gjøre det, men vi kan ikke akkurat nå, fordi jeg kom nettopp hjem fra ferie.
En gang du lagde en 40-spesial, så ble det bare rett til en 40-spesial.
Men jeg fikk 50 om 3 sekunder etter Ja, dagen etter så hadde jeg 51 abonnerer, liksom.
Ja, det var en på Fortnite som satt på til deg, siden jeg sa at du hadde en, og så ba han til deg.
Det er så hvordan vi vunnet.
Ja, bare vent litt. Hvorfor får jeg ikke det der våpenet?
Men gå inn på Daily Gamer og se, da.
Ja, jeg ser. Og det står faktisk recording. Rec står det. Det står rec.
Ja, det står for recording.
Jeg vet. Jeg tok en liten salve. Ja, det er en runde mens dere to bare spør fight hverandre. Men jeg vet ikke hvor Cliff er, så jeg kan ikke fight ham. Eller jeg kan jo bare skyde ham, for han kan så sykt. Og jeg kan høre deg gå etter. Men jeg vet bare hvor.
Build a rocket ship and we fly for all.
Der var du. Hvor er du?
Du trenger ikke å spraye med pumpen din, da. Det er så irriterende.
Ja, det bruker sart.
Sånn.
Må liksom ha på litt.
Du, ikke ta meg.
Jeg lager bare skybase.
Right. Se her, hvis du går inn på streamen nå, så kan du se at jeg slår av. Se her. Gå inn
Ja,
på...
nå er den opp.
Se her, hvis jeg trykker en knapp, så forsvinner den.
Ja, det er sånn.
Hvis jeg trykker på en knapp igjen, så kommer den tilbake. Så da den knappen er borte, så er streamen borte også.
Det er så lager skybase, Cliff.
Jeg husker ikke hvilken knapp det var å løpe.
Det var... Har skiftet en taxi-bombe.
Sånn.
Det var som å kjøre en taxi-bombe. Er du? Jeg skal bare skifte, ass.
Ikke. Ja, men ikke vær svett. Å, shit. Jeg flyr.
Nei, jeg svetter ikke. Hvor er det?
Nei! Jeg er edit-modus. så dritt. Chill, jeg prøver å heale her.
Men jeg skal faktisk snobbskåp på deg.
Nå mistet jeg alt lootet mitt. Det er juks! Det er ikke rart. Det er ikke rart jeg taper når du har gullpump. Så mister jeg tingene mine igjen, for jeg flyr under mappet.
Ja, men da kan du ha gullpump.
Hvis det var litt lettere å finne frem gullpump, da. Kan du ikke gå på meg? Vær så snill. Ja, men... hvor i alle dager er gullpumpene, da?
Jeg får ikke til å skikke lag. Jeg prøvde det litt. Men jeg får den opp. Jeg vet hvordan jeg gjør det. Used to play pretend, used to play pretend, used to play pretend, used to play pretend, Jeg stakka, mann. Å, herregud! Har du gullpump? Jeg kan se at du har gullpump. Det finnes ikke pump i spillet som tar... Det finnes ikke en vanlig pump i spillet som tar så mye liv. Hvor er tingene mine? Hvor er tingene mine? Tingene mine, ja, der da. Jeg har ikke mat. Jeg har ikke mat til det.
Ingen har mats, jo.
Ja, jeg kan bygge. Jeg skyter deg.
Ikke.
Jo, jeg kan bygge. Se bak serveren min.
Blir du bare... Jeg har ikke så god aim. Dere sitter og spiller på Nintendo-telefon. Jeg har ikke aimbot. Åh, for fader. Jeg spiller faktisk... Tastatur. Chill litt med jævla pumpen din.
Hva gjør det?
Med reload, da. Åh, kan dere slutte å cranke?
Jeg er ikke god til å kaste. Jeg bare prøver siden jeg har ikke noen. Siden jeg i gamle dager begynte jeg å kaste.
Kom ned!
Ok, jeg kommer ned til en no-scope på deg.
Bare fordi jeg er dårlig betyr ikke at dere har fri liv til å no-scope meg.
Men jeg har lyst til å no-scope. Jeg prøver bare å no-scope.
Det er ikke lov å bruke en annen sniper enn det jeg har puttet der. sjanse til å øve på å bli god på det jeg er dårlig på. Fordi dere driver jo bare og sprayer meg med pump og sånne ting.
Går det an å spraye deg sånn?
Ja, faktisk. Ikke ta meg. Eller banke dere opp.
Jeg må til i morgen.
Jeg blir sur, jeg også. Kanskje ikke ofte jeg viser på stream. Satan i helvete.
Det går bare i kirken med deg. Kan du ikke? Du får ikke til å krenke deg til. Kanskje ikke. Litt moræring, da. Er det nå? Kom inn da. Smart crime, da. Se etter ikke en billig kort.
Grappler er ikke lov å bruke.
Ok, jeg kan droppe.
Der forsvant det batteriet. Alltid uansett ikke å høre på det bråket deres. Slutt å fly! Det er ikke lov å fly! Noen som flyr blir kicka. heller. Trykker hele tiden feil. Helvete kul. Du! Ikke grisk i deg tingene mine! Ikke!
Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness. trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. Long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. There's a long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. Long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. There's a long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. Long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. There's a long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This is Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's when or impending doom, take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. There's a long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's when or impending doom, take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. There's a long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. There's a long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't where the story ends. Long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends. Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom. So sing along. This isn't where the story ends. There's a long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends.
Hallo? Hallo? Ikke så på mobilen. Liksom! Hallo? Jeg har rumpestykker. Jeg vet ikke hvor mange jeg har. Jeg har... Så det sier du? Ja,
Don't you know it's winter impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom. So tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn.
elsker den her FNC.
So sing this song, 'cause loose lips don't tie loose ends. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom. So sing along. This isn't where the story ends. Long fall to the bottom. This isn't where the story ends.
Musikken min! Ikke dans! Det er så søtt! Jeg får ikke høre musikken min. Og så på partylyset her. Søndagskveld, siden jeg tenkte det var lørdag. Hvorfor danser vi så jævlig mye?
Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wind and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's winter impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom. So tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or
Dans
it
siste
can't be?
Christian, ikke
Take
dans
you
siste
down just
Benjamin.
like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right?
Dans siste Benjamin, ikke dans siste
There's a
Christian.
long fall to the bottom, so tag along.
Jeg forstår ikke. Jeg vet ikke. Så du er Benjamin? Skriv i chatten om du er Benjamin eller ikke.
Where the darkness ends, so 'cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so sing along. This isn't
Ja, men musen virker ikke.
blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or in?
I'm not cool at dreamail.mammaen din. Å, jeg raper. Altså, du kan snakke nå.
Ja.
Så hvorfor snakker du ikke?
Vet ikke.
Stumpe. Noah, kan du høre meg? Å, herregud, det blir helt sykt med ekko. Åh. Hold kjeften. tilted. Greit, alle sammen, inn i tilted. Hallo? Hallo? Døvelert. Hører dere meg? Kan du høre meg? Søren i Kronkevik. Så hvorfor sier du ikke noe? Hvorfor sier du ikke noe?
Hva er det vi skal?
Ille, drepe hverandre.
Du håndte meg.
Ja, kan du...
Det brenner i huset jeg er i.
That's your fault. Søren heller, jeg prøver å sette opp et setup her, og så kommer stormen bak meg, som en raring. Lille sprayer. Skal se hvor du er, mann. Rumpedyr. Spray sånn da. Slutt opp. Det kan være en sånn biscuit eater. Sug meg sidelengs, jeg kommer til å ha på meg selv i morgen. Sug meg sidelengs. Ikke gå på meg, ja. Du, ellers hyler jeg på deg. Ikke ta meg, og jeg hater stormen som hjerter. Kan stormen ikke? Vent litt. Mye. Hva er det du prøver på? Fingre. Hvordan døde jeg? Hvordan? Si meg hvordan jeg døde.
Du sa full damage.
Hvordan døde jeg? Dritt. Ok. Søren, det er pinlig. Han her prøver å løpe. Jeg har jo der fikk jeg. Sorry. Noe launchpad på deg. Rumpa mi er så stor, jeg har 5% på iPaden min akkurat nå. You son of a biscuit eater. Oh, you son of a biscuit eater. Hei, Kia! Kåsa. Og det sier jeg. Og det sier jeg. Nei, søren, I spruter du. Oh, yes. Yes. Matrix, jeg kommer til det. Easy done. Den der 200 kjenner. Såpass. Og du her, ja. Det er veldig irriterende. Tusen takk for pengene, da.
Igjen, så prøvde jeg.
Jeg skulle bare komme meg unna! La meg aldri være. Hvorfor dør til skolen med det jeg kan fortelle? Du tatt med noe! Jeg tror han her er blind. Han er drittung, han er blind. Står jo ikke bare stille for at han skal drepe meg. Vet du hva? Jeg tror ikke noen virkelig. Han muter jo hvert eneste sekund. Jeg fikk ikke få høre det. What did that do? What did that do? Nå, se opp i hjørnet mitt, se hva det står. Livestream. Se, hvis jeg trykker en knapp på keyboardet mitt. Vent litt. Se, hvis jeg trykker en knapp på keyboardet mitt, så forsvinner det. Så trykker jeg en annen knapp, så kommer det tilbake. Hva er det som skjer? Vent litt. Åh, jeg lagde det. Fy søren! Jeg er sånn 3 FPS! La meg få hvile, jeg lagde sykt noe. hverandre først. Du bare kommer her og bare skyter deg selv i rumpa. Altså, dere må gå på meg. Dere kan time på meg, fordi jeg er på en måte like god som begge to. Ja, dere til sammen. Vent litt, kan jeg dra på videoen? Alle sammen, dere må time på meg. helvete. Men det finns ikke. Ja, jeg er blakk og jeg er traktor og jeg trenger mat. Jeg er veldig blakk og ingenting skal stakk. Jeg stakk han ut i salen. Jeg var bare Hvor er de? Dere kan gi meg ett. Du, ett sekund. Jeg tenker bare å slå på LED-lysene mine, så at jeg faktisk kan se her inne. Vodka. Virker ikke LED-lys. Slå på! Du ikke gå på meg, har jeg sagt. Bullshit. Dere er en drittdyr. Yes, nå er jeg sniper igjen. Jeg kan ikke snipe meg. Fleskepølse. Det er bra. Tusen takk. Får vi ta det. NRK Party. Skal jeg nå stoppe deg? Ikke noe skop? Nå er det bare fordi jeg er litt bedre enn deg. Du må leve med. Ditt problem. Han døde ikke. Hvor mye liv hadde du?
Jeg hadde 3 liv.
Sug meg i rumpehullet. Tørk meg med papir! Shit da. Helvete.
Jeg hadde 12 liv igjen.
Noen har kommet her og plugget ut. Denne jævla greia. En av de 4 som vi gjorde. Kom inn hvis du tør. Satan i peisen. Jeg kan dø! Vi kan få tidlig Jeg håper du har skjønt at du dreper deg selv. Oh my god, that toxic dance in the song and Hva? Hva er det? Hva er det?
Kan du vente litt og drepe meg nå?
Hvorfor det? Hele poenget er at jeg skal gå rett på deg og drepe deg. Du bare prøver å finne veien opp hit. Åh, er det Ja, du vil såpe, ja. Nå kan vi spille til runde 30, og så spiller vi litt duos. Jeg prøver faktisk. Åh, så jävla typiskt där. Typisk. Først henger du opp, så går du ut. Det er ikke så veldig typisk, men jeg har begynt å lære av Lukas. Jeg blir så jævla forbannet.
From the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall till the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the dark.
That they needed. And so you see the alternative is to just try to look for a team to box fight. But like you say, the other team knows that they're desperate, and so they won't give them an inch. Lincoln default will look to control the pace of the fight, slow it down, and just force Thomas and Jason to chunk damage. So notorious seeing hit from Diox, and once they're there, just being forced to chunk it. They're looking for an opportunity to find a team, but there's no one there, Diox. Maybe look a bit more to your right and you'll see something.
It's just tough. This is one of those teams I was talking about, you know, some of them were playing underground, starting from the dirt, getting a lot of eliminations towards that end game. Just well, we're just driving around in cars in like the 7th, 8th zone. They were having fun.
Just don't like it.
This is one of those teams I was talking about, you know, some of them were playing underground, starting from the dirt, getting a lot of eliminations towards that end game. Just well, we're just driving around in cars in like the 7th, 8th zone. They were having fun. Felt like they were just watching, you know, kids at a trampoline house jumping around, and it was getting them points too. It was nuts. They kind of slowed down towards the end of the day overall. I think they hit all the way towards second or maybe even first overall. We're looking at points towards those earlier games. Now though, this is tough. I mean, yes, they're surviving, but look at their inventories overall. Heals is going down, down, down. When does Surge end? What's the context? You might be asking. There's a certain player count that needs to be achieved by the lobby. This first iteration that we just saw, it's 70. So now with 69 players alive, it's gonna just turn off. In a few more zones, it'll be back up, and the server will require 50 players to be up and alive. So right now, there's 19 more than, you know, that is needed. And the awesome Wildflower know that. They know, you know, with EU being this stacked, with day 2 coming in 11, there's just no way that players are going to slow down and not, you know, go down at all. It's going to be tough for them. They need to get this damage.
Yeah, even though it's turned off, they know they will need to do the more damage, otherwise they will run into more issues later on, and it gets more difficult to deal with it later on, where everybody in the lobby is more congested together. There's less opportunities. We're seeing a replay from Rescard and Scram, really in the thick of it. This is what can happen, the chaos that ensues when teams are fighting for Surge. Stormy, right, wasn't able to escape it, and he will go down. This is the kind of thing that happens, Shire.
And that's a top 10 team as well. Just imagine, you know, you're rolling in with the day, you have the game plan, you're actually Stormy right as well. You know, their plans are just amazing. They just seem so dynamic, but they're going down to the pressure. If that team is going to be unable to struggle inside a lot of these, you know, situations where there's so many boxes around, I wonder what things look like for Lincoln default on your screen, for Jason and Thomas. Look at the map right now. Everyone just waiting. Just one AR is shooting on the map at the moment. Everyone else is focused on that rotation, and they pop the peppers. They start to move. That gives you a huge speed boost, and they're off on the ways. No one's even looking at them. Almost in zone. Ah, so close to being flawless. Link makes it in though, and defaults beside him. That used to be the trickiest thing for this duo. Getting in unscathed and not getting their competition interrupted by that movement, but they just overcome that hurdle.
Yeah, and they're actually in a pretty decent position. I think they wanted to maybe get a bit further in on a bit of a high elevation on the hill. But where they are at, will be all right. They'll be able to hold some of the teams behind them trying to get their way in as well, and that extra damage will do wonders for them. And that's in pink now, and that's the only EU player with a finals VR in all 4 years of FNCS history. Look, There's so many great things I can say about this player. Truly is someone who I feel is underappreciated. One of the greats.
He's a great of the lobby as well, while everyone else is looking from the bottom up, looking to fix mistakes. Pink and Anas, I feel like one of two duos right now next to Girls and Clown who don't want to switch anything up. We're on top of that ladder of chaos, looking down at all the destruction. They're in first place and they want to stay there.
And on the left of your screen is Hen and Queasy, who will be fighting for that first place slot. Currently sitting in fourth and holding teams in. Bit difficult. Hen's got this AR in hand, and of course the legendary version is going to be great, but in this scenario I'm sure he'd much rather have an MK, a bit more of a higher fire rate, to just continue to really just squeeze this team in. This is where you never want to be in the lobby, isn't it? This is so difficult to deal with when you just have everybody forcing you back against the zone, and not much HP as well. Your mats will slowly run out and you will fall, and that's exactly what happens. And this is great because Queasy and Hen can now go collect that loot as they tunnel through.
Very nice to get a refresh for them. Now we see the perspective of a situation like that. Waffler by himself, so down on Surge, 248 below. One player only has around 200 HP, and a lot of the players around him for the moment should be damaged as well, so I'm not sure where he's going to find this. Not to all in, two players, a whole duo by himself with this loadout. Yes, that MK7 assault rifle will be enough to maybe rattle down a few of those shield bars. I'm not sure if he can confirm any eliminations. He's now fully run out of heals, shields as well. Wallfire is going to be going down. That's tough on the right side. Bad Sniper. Running one of the first games that we saw of his, FNCS career yesterday. He's looking really good right now with DKS in terms of position, loot, and mats, but what I'm not seeing is the damage. What I'm seeing is a little bit of passivity. And when that happens with this duo 11, I don't feel like they ever end up waking up, so this might spell disaster already for their endgame.
Yeah, I like to think that they're in a much cooler mindset than usual, but they may be forced to rush the issue a bit and really turn the tide of their game, because staying below is just only going to force them to tank through more of their resources. Bad Sniper actually will go down to Chico, so DKS in the first game being put in a solo clutch position, it's not out of the realms of possibility for him. The gauntlets will give him a couple extra charges to move once the zones start moving. But if anybody figures out that this guy is a solo, you can be assured that his time in the lobby will not last too long.
A clutch from this position is literally the reason why some people win FNCSs. It's the difference maker when you're a solo in the top 5, in the top 3 with your teammates. Third place right now for DKS and Bad Sniper. All he needs to do is survive. You're noticing people going down in the feed. Every time that happens is basically a placement point almost allocated for DKS. 147, he just wants to live and just expend those mats, stay alive. Meanwhile, Link, same story, 154, just ahead of that third place team. Depending on who goes down first, you might see a shift in the boards.
Problem is, he doesn't have mats to expend. He's out. He's all the way out, and so the time is really ticking for him. I think he might spot these builds here to his right. There is something. Yep, he will. And that's 200
River in the middle right now.
with.
Yeah, he's in the low ground. He doesn't have to deal with that water, though. We'll stay on land. He can't really find anything in terms of a pad or anything towards that backside. He's really tanking the zone to find the launch pad, but you need HP to be able to jump from it, Link. Unfortunate. I like the decision-making, though, to maybe get towards that spot, but it was just so far up. One of the negatives of being on low ground overall. Meanwhile, DKS, I think also just had no other options, no mats. He'll be alive with his. We'll see what he can do. Pink and Anas set up in position. Only a complete solo right now. Pink is just diving straight inside that box. Shots from the backside too, but Anas is there to deny it. And this is the position where we see VR's Pink, Anas with a refresh, looking to control this game.
Yeah, those mats were so important. You saw how Pink's material count shot all the way up. You can see Noah and Aqua and Heighten, so whether or not they'll be able to get that right now is a different question. But can Noah and Aqua hold on to it? You can see Aqua isn't looking too strong in terms of HP, and the materials are starting to dwindle as well.
X-Squeeze moving in, and Lex not alive either. Every single person, it looks like, inside the top 5 has to play as a solo to keep
They're positioned on the boards, alive. Meanwhile, Noah Riley swinging all the way towards the front, fighting Trulex and Chico. You can see on the left side of your screen. Putrick, though, sneaks that high ground with Toos, and Toos is inside the box with Noah Riley. He takes Noah almost down, has a hair of HP, and it gets snipped. A nice fade. Aqua now right below that box has to hear his teammate go down. Elim and gone. He's going to be by himself.
Yeah, you can see X-Squeeze as well now. One of those solos. Him and DKS are both struggling, but DKS was able to find an elimination on the backside in the bottom right. And so this is huge for him. It keeps him ticking in the game just that bit longer, and that's exactly what he needs. He can't go for the win right now, but all he needs is the extra placement points. They go a long way when we go to the last game, and so he will just continue to stay alive.
DKS takes down first place, and he's in second, or maybe just chops it in half. Maybe Pink has to possibly go for that clutch as well to keep that slot up top. Putrick and Tusto on that top side. They're going to be looking down momentarily for some sprays for that pressure. And we saw this on day one. No one was able to really retake on high ground except for that maybe very last game. And Tripper, one of the players who can have a possibility to do that, goes down as well on the low. No one's even finding DKS though. It's going to be tough. All he has to do is just stay around these walls, make sure nothing bad happens, but we do smell solos down there. It's an intuition for these European players, and he gets taken out.
Will X-Freeze be spotted out as well? It seems he's getting sniffed out from below. He's got to hold on to his wall, but there's players above him as well. He will go down as well.
Now we have Scram, no ref guard. Saw this many times before, and we can expect greatness. With 13 HP though, we can't have that Scram classic of dipping in and outside that zone. Really playing the timing very well, a player who can do it so well. He's not going to have the possibility. Here goes Floki for high ground up against Putrick. It's a retake. It's just himself, though. I don't see Clement. Where is he? Toos. He's not going to fall for such simple tricks. He keeps that high ground secure and alive.
Yeah, they did incredibly well to stay composed. Floki was no real threat, and they treated him that way. Scram, though, as a solo, will eventually find his maker, and he will go out. Trulex and Chico are the only duo now in between high ground and low ground, as Janice and Vortex look to try reclaim their first game success.
Every single team is sharing the same two boxes, and Vortex and Janice, if we have those guys in the equation, they just solved that problem with 2 shots and a big pop. That's what I like to see. Vortex with the sprays, Janice there to follow up, and now they control that little bit of a low ground layer. Still, Andy in the way with art skill as well. 2 solos in the mix. Swag and Pablo alive, but their mats are running out. High ground is still staying quiet. Putrick have to do absolutely nothing. They can just win this game. Pablo has so much ammunition. Just a few mats though. He's gonna go for the edit on Trulex. That's a double shot. It looks good, and he's down. Chico is gonna be the next one. Surprised after that jump scare. Pablo might go for the re-edit. There's no chance for that revival. Chico's gonna just fade dodge towards the right side. Pablo will move in through this labyrinth. Can he solve this maze? Art skill on the retake that Toos has to deal with, and they're not even running out of the mats. I'm not sure what type of treasury, what type of economy this entire duo has, but it's gonna be split in half. What a shot from Toos. Catches the head. This man only hits the most prime pristine shots you can find, and it's lucky that he had all the mats as well. 4 different teams, and he's going to be the focus. Chopped down now by the Flame Boys back and forth. The fire's too hot. Toos might not be able to survive. He gets burned, and he's down. We have new high ground kings.
Cerebral play from the Danes, and they are on fire. Swag and Pablo will drop down now to try and claim the first victory royale of the day. Swag will go down, and so it's left in the hands of Pablo. They've done so well so far, and now in a 1v1 against Janice, who won against Vortex. Janice and Vortex in a 2v1. Vortex is up, but with not much HP. Will he be the difference maker? Will he decide to go up and try and take Pablo on? Pablo trying to hold on. He doesn't have the materials left. He's dancing around in the zone. He realizes he can get Vortex. That's going to be the siphon that will come through, but will it come in time? 10 seconds. He will get it, and so he stays up. And now can he hit the crucial last shot? No! Yes. Janice will pick it up. They won game 1 of day 1, and they win game 1 of day 2. The German Giants come through again.
I can't believe it. It's deja vu, and in a way that's more special than that first day as well. Janice and Vortex, this is not a position where they usually win games. There's a little bit more sense of control overall, but Janice, the clutch minister himself, just rolls in, hits that big shot, and that's like the 3rd one we saw in the end game. Toos was hitting them too. What a way to start off EU.
That was phenomenal from Janice and Vortex. Like you said, they're used to winning games on height, but they did it from low. And like we said so many times yesterday, these guys like to get in early, get their victory royales done quick and easy. Guys, tell me on the desk, how did that all break down? There was so much going on, so many of the top duos playing as solos. Break it all down for us, guys.
Shia, Wager, and Levin, thank you guys so much. Game number 1 or 7 in the grand scheme of things is done. My goodness, chaos. Just chaos as far as the eye can see. Boop, I was very surprised to just watch these solo riders, right? One of their dual mates falling early, and then they just had to fight by themselves. What happened in this game?
Yeah, you couldn't script a better end game there. That was ridiculous. Almost coming through Swag and Pablo with a clutch. Unfortunately there, he did get the siphon in the last minute. I thought he was about to do it, but the little swimming dolphin dive action coming through from Janus and Vortex was just enough to come through. I mean, I don't know how Janus and Vortex are able to do it again, right? Yesterday, they sort of slowed off towards the end of the final, but now starting of day with another victory out, you know, of similar fashion, that has to give you so much more confidence going into this, you know, final 5 games now.
Yeah, and I think that final moment summarized the team as a whole, right? You've got Janus, the most experienced player, almost in the entire lobby, having 12 in a row, actually, FNCS finals, right? He's only missed one, which was Season X, all the way back in Chapter 1, a long, long time ago, right? And you've got him teaming up with Vortex, who's a relatively newer player to the finals, less experienced, but just incredibly proficient at the same time, right? You see that final 1v1, like in, or 2v1 in that situation where, you know, usually Vortex, if you're going across water, there's almost no HP right now. Vortex should be going back, and he should be going back to make sure that the opponent doesn't get siphoned. So Pablo, for the example. But the experience and the lack of experience kind of shows here. He goes down, but then the veteran Janus comes up with a clutch. He knows what to do in these pressure situations, picking up that victory royale.
Always put your faith in Janus.
100%.
And it's just so clean, right? In those situations, like Janus just knowing, look, I know the spot that you're in, and I know how low Vortex is. So if I just say, look, you have to finish this off, you're in the storm, I know where you're going to be. Like, I'm just going to challenge you. I have literally every advantage, right? The experience and the different experiences really coming into play there. Because, you know, other people might just panic. They might just be like, okay, well, I have the circle. I just have to stay with this.
Yeah.
That's my only option. But when you're Janus, you're just like, nah. I know he's going to be. I hit my shots. I'm good. So well fought from them. My goodness. I got to turn my attention to the standings, boys. Wow. Earlier on that game, okay, the top 7 all fell. Right? So this is what Sundown would call the shoop inning happening, okay? So we're seeing that the bottom end of these leaderboards start to shift up now, right? Trying to close that gap. Toos and Patrick, though, just still holding on. Pink and Anas right behind them. But now you've got Vortex and Janus here. They're like, hey, first place, we're only 5 points behind. What's going on? We got 5 more games? You want to do this now?
Yeah, it's so close to the top. I think it was kind of interesting. I think Vishu mentioned it while we were looking at the games. I think something like, you know, all 5 duos on top. I think only Anas and Pink were the only ones left there going on through, which is kind of ridiculous. You know, that shakes up the standings and makes it so much more closer at the top.
Yeah, so basically, when in that first moving zone, it was Pink and Anas were the only team in that top 7 who were still in it. You know, Link was so close, but he ended up going down right at the start of that first moving zone. So it's like, that shaked up those leaderboards massively. But, you know, we did see Vortex and Janus win game 1 yesterday and then fizzle out a little bit. And they're a very momentum-based team, and we saw that yesterday. So I'm thinking they've got the good momentum now. If they have a good game number 2, we're going to see, hopefully, you know, maybe them continue to fire up the leaderboards at the same time.
With Pink and Anas as well. My goodness. Again, like I talked about this all day yesterday, right? It's so difficult to kind of pick a favorite, right? Just the sheer amount of raw talent we have here in the finals of Chapter 3, Season 1. Now, I'm kind of curious to get your guys' quick thoughts on this. We don't have much time, but what do you think is going to change from Game 1 to Game 2? Boop?
Yeah, I think we're going to get a little bit more aggression. Right, again, it is all about feeling yourself out in the first game. We saw some different things coming out of Razen Phoenix, not pushing towards Thomas Sashi and Tayson. We saw people splitting and South Sleepy as well. So I think now we're going to get a little bit more aggression because, you know, you're running out of games.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for that, Boop. But for now, we see the timer. It means it's game time. We got to get back on that bus. So we're kicking it on over to Shy Waiter and Levin2K to take us in.
Thanks so much, Zeke, Boop, Reese. I mean, yeah, when it comes to just how that game 1 looks versus game number 2, many changes might have to be made for some teams, Levin, but they also have that entire day yesterday where they, you know, bot reviewed after the tournament and have that game plan too. So those 2 fixes might just start to clash.
Yeah, I do start to wonder, right? At what point do you really start to maybe game yourself out of the competition, right? Where you're overthinking some of these things, right? We're seeing teams like Thomas and Tayson looking for better positions than they were yesterday, but it not quite working out. Is that going to play a psychological effect in how they approach the games now? So all the preparation they might have done prior to this might just be thrown out the window, right? These are all factors that will play into things. And to be honest, I think it just makes for more entertainment for us, right? Seeing all these changes all around the map.
Yeah, if there is a message I can give to the players, that game one is not your entire highway lane, merely just a speed bump if it did go wrong. Now, if it did go right, keep driving, keep pushing forward. That being said, still, that was like the back to game 7, game 8 coming in. That leaderboard change as well is looking pretty mighty interesting. The late game to 11, game of solos, we see it again today. Is that going to change the way, you know, how things work towards the end game? You know, Janus and Vortex, they sit alive. We'll see in a second because game 8, it's live and it's happening right now.
We got 50 duos ready to go at it again for the 8th time this weekend. And we're heading to Tilted Towers, a place we've watched quite a bit, with 2 duos who seemingly are able to coexist on the standings, but not in the POI. DKS and Bad Sniper will look to do what they struggled to do a lot yesterday in taking down Benji and Savage off spawn. But even with them struggling to do that, they did not struggle to get results and put themselves higher in the standings. You can see they're sitting in 6th, and they'll be feeling like they can do even better.
Overall, yeah, I think this entire drop spot has just been dictated by the glide, right? Over and over again, it kind of determines how your entire game goes, what loot you have access to. I feel like in terms of launch pad drops, that entire skyscraper tower, the big building in Tilted has a few more of those, and we see Benji Savage every time they claim it. Somehow they also get a pad. I'm not going to say scripted, but it rolls in.
I think we all know what that is by now. It's the Benji fishy luck, you know? It's the Benji RNG. You know, we ain't even got to talk about this. Anybody that knows competitive Fortnite just knows that Benji is just luckier than all of us. He harnesses the luck of the whole lobby, and he gets pads every game.
That's what we'd like to see. I think Hen and Queasy are on the downside of that because they've been searching for one for 7 games and haven't found one yet, but hopefully they'll roll through. Oh, man. And then with Bino and Joe, too, I'm not sure what's going on, but I think last game, it was just positional mistakes, maybe Surge overall that kept them a little bit further back. They maintained their 50th place slot, though, but definitely want to see it go up.
Yeah, I don't know what you said about Queasy and Hen. We can't give those guys pads, man. With pads, they'll just be way too OP. All right, we got enough a tad bit.
Gotta make it interesting, right? Have to have a nice final game. Now Clown and Girls, we see their drop as well. 2nd, 8th off the first one. But this time, it's revenge from that first game. That's interesting, too. Not being able to play a game from the very get-go drops them 6 places overall. So maybe this time they can catch back up. But I would assume, you know, being top 2, you go down way further with the way the board's changing game after game.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, we talk about the psychological effects that can, you know, come into play with all these duos, and you typically would say, hey, more experienced teams are better at handling that adversity. But so far in these finals, it doesn't even really feel that way. Some of our more experienced teams have been the ones who have struggled game to game. And the new up-and-comers, like those guys, seem to just be unfazed by what is such a grand stage in the FNCS finals.
It's all about just keeping those nerves under control, and at the same time, it just feels like as well, you know, with not there being an entire team to take care of, certain roles in terms of, you know, supreme shot caller rolling in, when it's just you and your teammate, maybe it's a little bit easier to attack the game, approach certain situations inside duos. Saw Tusum Putrick on screen as well. One of the only teams that are rolling in with consistency every single game, 10+ points every time. And we saw in that last game, Levin, it just looks so good. I feel like Tusum Putrick, the advantage they have is they're a team that never hesitates. They see something, they push for it and grab it, whether that's a fight or an endgame situation for height.
Yeah, their execution is sublime, right? You know, when you talk about technically excellent players, you got to mention those guys. They really are always on point. And that's what gives them the advantage a lot of the time when it comes to those situations where you just have to be clinical, you have to be decisive. Their unwavering aggression just really comes into play. And maybe you could say the same thing about Drew here, really putting the damage down. He spots that player, misses the opportunity to get the shot though. Goes back in, there's a wall there. But he'll wrap back round. And this fight will reset. As Stompy and Drew will look to go again.
Is this the right adjustment overall for the team of Stompy and Jude? 32nd place overall. Is the mid-game fight really the thing that needs to be added to their repertoire, their arsenal, start really pushing forward their games and get closer towards that top 20, that top 10? Question will be answered in this fight, but I think the issue with them is that they like these long drawn-out engagements. Ju apparently has like heat-seeking built in to his MK7. You can see straight through that bush. A few shots taken. And yeah, Swifty's gonna be very surprised about that one.
Yeah, I know if that was me, I'd be fuming. I'd be going off in our little call there if I was Swifty, but he's got to stay calm. Look, they're trying to take an isolated fight, and it's all good and well trying to take an isolated box fight to help, you know, mitigate the effects of Storm Surge. But if a team like Hutty and Swifty come rolling through, instantly, you know, things start to get a bit dicey, and you have to try to get out of that coop. And Frack, who aren't been, you know, bossing the lobby by any means, will go down to Videoen and Reason. Videoen and Reason, they really just treat any duo they come across as fodder, right? They don't even take any regard of who you are or the fact that you're playing in the FNCS finals. If we want to fight you, we will get in.
Absolutely. There's a little bit of a difference overall too between them and Stompy, right? Like, it's just, you can see the difference in speed, lethality. It's nice to see. And I feel like still the one thing we haven't seen is this duo just play the game. What have Hen and Queasy been doing? I've only really seen them on that top overhead, you know, view overall in day number 1, somewhere in mid-ground, trying to live. I just want to see that control ASAP.
Yes, it's been weird seeing them in mid-ground. Right, when you go back and watch a lot of their games from this season, I still think they are an elite mid-ground team, right? Like, they have the ability to boss it from there. But in these lobbies, I just want to see them on high. But it's been so difficult to take high, right? All of these teams who look to posture for it, obviously they've got to deal with the likes of Noah and Aqua, Pink and Anas, Thomas and Tayson. There'll be other teams that'll look to get in the mix as well, even Janice and Vortex, once they wake up from their slumber.
Good. You know, Joe, I think they just took apart an entire duo inside Shifty. Now there's another one rolling in, so the waves will start to just come through. I think game 1 was a set game plan for a lot of people. There's Melody. Yeah, this is not Scram and Earth Guard, my friends. You're not expecting the same fight from game 1. Joe and Vino do not mess around. You see one, you will always find the other. They're a lot more closely tied to the hip. And speak of the duo, and they shall arrive. Scram and Revsguard are here, but I'm not sure they know if it's Joe and Vino. Yeah, they've seen the feed. They must. There's no one else really in this position. Where else will Cafe and Melody land? 60 damage from that spot. That's exactly what Revsguard wanted. Hopefully receive none, and they'll be on their way.
Right, I think a lot of the time we'll see these teams make these all-in plays to try to deal with Surge. But if you can just sort of go about your business, pick away, 60 tags here, 60 tag there, 60 struggling that too much. I feel like every time we get deeper into game, Shire, we're seeing these guys just ending up in these situations where they're just not able to be as effective in tight spaces, right? They're still top players. I'm not going to act like they're like old or anything, but you know, they're not back in their prime a couple of years ago where put them in the most difficult and tightest of spaces and they excel. They still do need a bit of space to operate in.
I like the fact that you're mentioning celebration and then now no longer being in your prime. That birthday for you hitting different today, eh?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're getting a little bit older, and you know, what's your celebration today, Levin? What are you doing on your glorious 20th birthday?
I am enjoying the best Fortnite players in the world show what they can do. And it's funny that, you know, as we start talking about this, the best Fortnite players in the world are on our screen. Tayson and Top. Okay, let me chill out.
I'll allow it because it's your special day, all right? I'll allow it for one time.
Look, I think the big question around these guys is going to just be, are these guys still the best Fortnite players in the world? At any given moment in the past 2 years, really, if you ask somebody, who do you think is the best Fortnite player in the world? There's a good chance they're going to say Tayson or Thomas. This season, that hasn't always been the case. And so this is going to be their chance, to prove that they are still in that upper echelon of Fortnite players.
10th overall, this is the day that we expect them to do good, and they kind of have to because, once again, there is no day number 3. Lincoln defaults, Chonker Speedway rolling in. This is going to be tough overall. I mean, they're not even at that Desert POI, and they're still making this duo cry.
Yes, William and Lecce can't catch a break. Cannot catch a break. And I feel like every time Link gets an elimination, he just goes for the dance. Like, he looks to emote, show off some of the stuff he's got in that locker of his. Some impressive stuff. Thank you as well to production for the birthday message. Appreciate it, guys. The ones in the back.
Completely missed
you missed it, bro.
I'm just looking at the fight. I'm so sorry.
No, we good. They work hard in the back and showing some love. I appreciate that.
I want to get a little bit of your bias here, right?
Okay.
If there's a present we could give you in terms of one duo just winning, is it Tayson and Thomas? Or is it your prediction? What does Levin's heart truly say? Expose yourself.
My heart wants...
What does your body want? What does your heart want?
My body wants Tayson and Thomas to win. I don't know, man. I love Tayson, you know? How can I not love Tayson? Lovely family as well. Mum and Dad wish me happy birthday, so, you know, big up them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think Anas and Pink got the opposite end of a present when it comes to game number 1, losing that first place title, but they're not too far behind when it comes to trying to catch up. We'll see if it's possible. 171 overall inside second place. And they have to catch up just a little bit. 174, 3-point difference overall for the duo. This is looking kind of tough though. I haven't seen Pink take this much damage starting off a fight.
Yeah, they gotta stay cool in this situation. Pink especially, you can see he's just stuck up against this mountain. There's not much room for him to operate in. And Nas does really well to get Vortexia down. And so Cast3 now in a 1v2 against two of the better players in the lobby.
You know, we can always rely on Cast3 and Vortexia to be like the mid-game mini-boss to FNCS. I think literally 8 out of 8 games now, we are watching them fight someone new. Everyone is getting the Vortexery experience. I believe that Reese was saying on the desk. Like, I think every single time, it's on all sides of the board. It's so interesting to see how each duo kind of reacts to it. Pink and Anas also know about all the control they have on this side of the map. They can really force this fight and understand that there's no one going to be in their way when they go back to zone.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Those guys seem to be so erratic in their play style. I've met Vortexia in person. He was far from erratic. You know, very, just a very cool guy. Quiet, you know, just sort of kept to himself. But in the lobby, in the game, he gets busy. Shows you, man. Players really just sort of get into their element once they head inside. Can really express themselves.
Seeing the perspective of first up all the way down to 5th right now, and off that fight as well, Pink and Anas claim back their title. A crown is going to be shared this game, I believe, by these two teams because Tus and Putrick are about to get through a fight of their own.
Benji going down. What is going on here?
Blinded from the light in the trophy room, thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just like a sonic boom. Wanna live on in your memory. Is it right or wrong? 'Cause there's a long fall to the bottom, so tag along. This isn't what you thought it was. The break of dawn is always where the darkness ends. So Thinking about the wins and the struggles too. Will it ever be enough for me? Don't you know it's win or impending doom? Take you down just